The first night I noticed something was wrong. I tried to stay calm. My wife didn't come home, and her phone went straight to voicemail. At first, I told myself maybe she was stuck with a friend, or perhaps her battery had died. But as the hours stretched into the next morning, my chest grew heavier with a strange mix of anger and fear. I kept pacing the living room, checking my phone every few minutes, but there was nothing. No calls, no messages, no sign of her. By the second day, I couldn't pretend anymore. I called her friends, her family, even her workplace, but no one had seen her. A pit formed in my stomach, the kind that comes when you already know the truth but don't want to face it. Every unanswered call was like a reminder of how little control I actually had over the woman I thought I knew best. The silence in the house was unbearable. When night came, I couldn't sleep. I sat in the kitchen staring at the clock, wondering where she was and who she was with. I remembered small things, late-night texts she used to hide, sudden excuses to go out, the new clothes she bought without telling me. It all began to line up like pieces of a puzzle I didn't want to solve. Deep inside, I knew she wasn't missing. She was simply choosing not to be here. By the third day, my anger turned into exhaustion. I went to work, trying to distract myself, but I could hardly focus. Every sound of a phone buzzing made my heart race, but it was never her. I sat at my desk staring at her picture on my lock screen, wondering if she even thought of me while she was gone. That evening, just when I was about to give up on hearing from her, my phone lit up. My hands shook as I opened the message. It wasn't an apology, it wasn't an explanation. It was only 8 words, asterisk, you can't control me. Stop looking for me. Asterisk, my chest went cold as if someone had poured ice water through my veins. She wasn't lost. She wasn't hurt. She wanted me to know she was free from me, from us, from everything we had built. I read the message again and again, hoping I had misunderstood. But the more I stared, the clearer it became. She wasn't coming back, not the same way. She had made a choice, and I had been left behind like a shadow she no longer wanted. I tried calling her right after, but she didn't answer. I sent messages, asking where she was, begging her to talk. Nothing came back. Her silence spoke louder than any fight we had ever had. It wasn't just absence, it was rejection. The house felt different after that text. I looked around and saw the pieces of her everywhere. Her perfume on the dresser, her sweater on the chair, the framed photo of us smiling from 2 summers ago. Each one was a cruel reminder of a life that had been slipping through my hands long before I realized it. I thought about the vows we had made, the promises we whispered when no one else could hear. How could those words mean so little to her now? I had loved her with everything I had, and in return, she vanished without a word and sent me a message like I was some stranger clinging too hard. The next morning, I deleted her text, but the words stayed in my mind. You can't control me. Maybe she thought love was control. Maybe she wanted freedom more than loyalty. Either way, I realized no amount of searching or waiting would change what she had already decided. Days turned into weeks, and the pain dulled but never truly faded. People told me to move on, to let go, but letting go felt like admitting I was never enough. I kept asking myself what I had done wrong, what signs I had missed, but there was no answer. Sometimes at night, I still imagine her walking through the door, laughing like nothing happened. But then reality pulls me back. She chose to disappear, she chose someone else, she chose a life without me. And I'm left with nothing but silence and a broken heart. In the end, her message was right in its own cruel way. I couldn't control her, not her choices, not her love, not even her absence. All I could do was accept that she was gone, and try, slowly, painfully, to rebuild a life from the ruins she left behind.